Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Tony Hollis Live Talk Show Testify. Sorry, I had all kinds of problems, technical problems. Hopefully, my internet will hold. Just watch the clock, and I will be coming back real shortly, where we will dive into speaking on some various topics. Won't hold you long. Want to say welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Tony Hollis Live Talk Show Testify. Again, I'm sorry for all the technical problems that I had. First, I had internet problems, and then I didn't have all my paperwork that I want to talk to you about. But this is going to be quick. I'm pretty sure many of you can see my crawler down there. There's three topics that I want to talk about. One of the topics happened to be the mystery with the death of an inmate in Osceola City Jail. I don't have all the information on that. I just want to share it with the public due to the fact there has not been anything publicized by the local paper or the media from Memphis, Jonesboro. At least I haven't seen any reporting on that death. And also the mystery with the detective cop from Blytheville. You remember the one that had all the felony charges, kidnapping, 2 counts of assault. What else was it? Robbery or so forth. Well, we're going to talk about how the Blytheville Police Department allegedly conducted an illegal search on his home. Why? We don't know. But that's also a story that we're going to be working on. Um, and last, we're going to be talking about the upcoming 2022 school board elections for Blytheville, Arkansas. Uh, as you know, they're working on a map right now. Everything going to be rezoned. So due to the fact that everything will be rezoned, that means all school board seats will come vacant. Okay. So if you have a desire to want to run for school board, please make plans, get your paperwork together. You know, I think you got to go out and get, what is it, 20 signatures or what have you. So please govern yourself accordingly. You won't know exactly what zone that you will be in because, like I said, they're going to redo the map. Okay. So right now, you know, if you're thinking you in zone 1, you may be in zone 2. You think you're in zone 8, you may be in zone 7. But it's not going to be 8 zones. It's going to be 5 or 7. Okay, we'll talk about that later. But before I get started, there's a lot of things going on in the news. I had something up going over there. Look like I see some people done tuned in. Look like that's Miss Williams. How you doing? Look like we got Cuz there. How you doing there, Tequila? Uh, Tequila, how you doing? That's Ken folks down there. How you doing? We also get Mr. Williams and tune in. Now, what's going on, brother? And of course, one of my very strong supporters, Miss Sheila Runt. How you doing? Mrs. Sheila Runt. How you doing? But anyway, I want to just put this back up here to see if you all um, saw this here. I want to put it on the screen. Do you see that? $450,000 per person to immigrants separated at the border. That is President Biden, Justice Department. That's what they will be doing, giving each person, immigrant, that is. These are illegal people that came into the country, okay? $450,000 per person due to the fact they were separated from their parents at the border. Now, these are illegal folks that we're talking about. Why do I bring that up? You know, for what the past 2, 3 elections, if you will, going back to, I want to say, President Clinton, you know, we continue to ask for reparation for how black people were enslaved in this country, built this country with their blood and sweat and death. For that, we have gotten nothing. We are the only race under the sun who have been treated so bad, and we have not been paid any type of award in terms of money or any other, um, awards, if you will, other than money. Free education. I'm talking college. They haven't even considered that for black families. You know, we the only race upon the sun that continue to get just stomped on, spit on. They don't respect us. We delivered the presidency to President Joe Biden, and we have not gotten nothing. We have not gotten a Joe Lewis voting right bill, George Floyd reform bill, the For the People's Act. We have gotten nothing. They take your vote for granted. As you know, Joe Biden is sliding in the polls. From what I heard today on the news, he have at this point, he is considered to be the president with the lowest rating of any other president in American history. Yep, that's right, including Donald Trump. Donald Trump got him beat. Now, why do you think that's so? Black people, that's what they don't want to talk about. It's that black vote. Black people are very disappointed in Joe Biden administration. We have received nothing for our vote. And I believe that it's reflecting in the polls. So that's all I want to say on that. $450,000 per person. Do you know what that can do for black families? That kind of money. Do you know what that can do for? I mean, it will uplift us out of poverty. but we have gotten nothing. That's not what my show on, but I did want to point that out to you just real briefly. Okay, let me go to my board here. I'm trying to see what I got here. Now, um, again, I want to see if I got this on my screen. I want to put this on the board right quick. Let me go up here. I don't know if you all can see that, but do you all remember this gentleman? Let me go back. Let me put him back up there. I'm just messing up. Get on, get it together, Tony. Do you all remember this person right here? I'm hoping to get that screen now. I'm just jumping all over the place. But this is the gentleman used to be a detective for the Blytheville Police Department. Zachary, what's that? Purrington. This was a gentleman, you see his charges there: aggravated robbery, kidnapping, terroristic threatening, first degree, 2 counts of aggravated assault. This is he. This is the gentleman that the Blytheville Police Department conducted an illegal search on his home. It don't appear that I got his picture on my screen. At least I can't see it on my monitoring system here. I wanted to show you a picture of him, but it don't look like the picture is pulling up. Let me see if I can pull him up right now, just to show you a picture of what he looked like. Okay, so let's add him to the screen. I think we got him now. But this is the gentleman that I was telling you about, Mr. Zachary Purrington. This is the gentleman, as I stated. This is the gentleman who received it, 2 counts of aggravated assault, terroristic threatening, first degree, kidnapping, and aggravated robbery. Now, we don't know what happened, but the Blytheville Police Department, I don't know if this person is still incarcerated or not, but for some reason, Blytheville Police Department, I'm going to want to use the word alleged right now because I don't have the report. That's what I'm waiting on. But it is alleged that the Blytheville Police Department conducted an illegal search on this person's apartment. I'm told he live out here like going 18 East, like toward the mills. Those brown apartments right there on your, I say brown, I don't know what color they are, but right there on your left-hand side, traveling east on 18th. They conducted a legal search on his home. We don't know exactly what they were looking for. That's the mystery. What exactly were they looking for? The reason I say that, not only was it an illegal search, but this is not even Blytheville Police Department case. He committed all these crimes that I showed you here. He committed all those crimes outside the city limits of Blytheville. This county belongs, this case belongs to the Mississippi County Sheriff Department. And I imagine the Mississippi County Sheriff Department either is working in conjunction with the Arkansas State Police, or then again, the Arkansas State Police might have very well taken over this case. But it's one thing that I do know, that Blytheville Police Department should have no hand in this case. So the question is, why did they raid this particular person's house in terms of the illegal search? What were they looking for? Now, I've been told through many sources that whatever the Blytheville Police Department confiscated at this illegal search, they tried to turn that information over to the county Sheriff Department. But the county Sheriff Department refused, I'm told, to take anything that Blytheville had offered. So what do Blytheville do with whatever they confiscated from this illegal search? What do they do with that property? Now, if we have to look at the law, one would think that based on this being an illegal search, which means no judge signed this warrant. You hear me? No judge signed this warrant. So if no judge signed this warrant, that make it a felony. They burglarized this person's home. They didn't have a search warrant. It was not signed by the judge. I'm talking about the Blytheville Police Officers. Excuse me. For those of you who are just tuning in, I'm talking about the Blytheville Police Department raided this particular person's apartment. This is the ex police officers. I think it was a detective in CID, Zachary Purrington. They raided his home, his apartment. Again, what were they looking for? It was an illegal search. No search warrant, not even a search warrant. So I don't even have to say that a judge didn't sign the search warrant. There was no search warrant. So what was Blytheville Police Department looking for? I think this can be considered as a crime. Whoever the officers that burglarized Zachary Purrington home without his knowledge, without a search warrant that was signed by a judge, it was an illegal search. But again, in closing, and we're going to move to the next topic if we don't have any questions on this topic here. But in closing, what was the Blytheville Police Department looking for when they conducted this illegal search? What were they looking for? So that's the question that I want to put out there. And I want to hold your questions right now. I want to try to run through these three topics. And once I finish with these three topics, you can come back and then you can ask pure topic, whatever your question is, whether it's on the mystery of the illegal search by the Blytheville Police Department or the mystery of the young man down in Osceola who was found unresponsive at the Osceola City Jail. And we're going to talk about that, as well as the school board seats becoming vacant. But anyway, that is that. Trying to see if I have anything else over here that I need to see, talk about, of course. But anyway, we're going to move to the next topic. For those of you who just tuning in, I was talking about the big mystery of the, let me go up here. This is what I was talking about. It's alleged, I use that word alleged again. It's alleged that the Blytheville Police Department conducted an illegal search on apartment of former police detective, which was the gentleman I just showed you, Mr. Zachary Purrington. They conducted an illegal search on his home. Okay. Yeah. What were they looking for? Okay, so that's the topic right there. So just hold tight, and we're gonna come back. And if you want to elaborate on that, you can. If not, we will keep it moving. All right. Now, of course, the next topic that we're going to talk about, we don't have a three. This next topic, a black young male found unresponsive at the Osceola City Jail. This is what I was talking about in my intro, my opening. This particular case, I think it happened somewhere, I want to say, at least when I got the information, it was like about a week ago, if that. We don't know exactly what part of the jail that this young man was found. He is deceased. Okay. We don't know exactly what part of the jail that he was found. I made an attempt today to try to reach out to the family. I hadn't received any response, and so therefore I'm going to withhold the name. I have the name of the person, but out of respect for the family, I'm going to withhold the name right now. Okay. I was hoping that they would come on and maybe just, just share what they could share exactly what happened there at the Osceola City Jail. Okay, now I'm picking up bits and pieces, like I say, with this Osceola black male that was found unresponsive. He's deceased. Okay, he is deceased. Um, there is some confusion in terms of what did the police department know. Osceola Police Department I'm talking about now. We finished with Blytheville for a minute. What did Osceola Police Department know? When did they know it? Okay. What did they do when they found out that they had a person who was deceased at their jail? What did they do? You would think that the first call would be to the family. I'm hearing that there is some confusion about that. What did they do? Why haven't they reported on this here? You can yet have an investigation conducted, but in terms of transparency, the Osceola Police Department should share that information with the public. To my knowledge, there have not been any information shared with the local media in Osceola. I don't know if Blytheville Town Courier have printed anything on it. I went and got a paper today, uh, which I don't normally go out and purchase papers, but I went and purchased one today. I wanted to make sure had anything been published. Didn't see anything today. I reached out to some of the Memphis, Tennessee news outlets, Channel 3, Channel 13. Um, I don't too much reach out to Channel 8. But anyway, they don't have any information that they could share. So why all the secrecy? Why haven't Osceola been transparent in terms of sharing this information with the public? I'm also working on something with Osceola Police Department. Um, I'm hearing that there is a case of nepotism that is going on with Osceola City government. I reached out to Mayor Wilson, wanted her to give me a call. I hadn't heard from her. I wanted to question her on not just this unresponsive deceased body that they found at the jail, but also wanted to speak to her on nepotism. So I hadn't received any response from Mayor Wilson as of yet. Hopefully I will. Okay, but back to the topic. Young black male unresponsive at the Osceola City Jail. Okay. I'm gonna go over here to my board. And I want to say this here to Osceola residents. I'm pretty sure by now you may know this young man's name. Out of respect for the family, I want to ask that you not share his name at this time. Please, I'm asking you. Just out of respect for the family, I'm hoping that they will come speak and share what they can share with the public. This is a sad case when you hear, your loved one who's supposed to be at a place where they are protected and serving, and you get some very tragic news about one of your loved ones who's deceased in their care. All right. So that is a case that I'm working on. Hopefully I get some information on that. Okay. And I want to backtrack a minute, back to Osceola before I come back to Blytheville before I come to Osceola. There seemed to be some intimidation going on at the Blytheville Police Department. Blytheville Police Department want to make the public think that everything is all, sweet and cherry. There is some confusion at the Blytheville Police Department. It just didn't start with the two DTF officers from Osceola landing a job in Blytheville, but I'm working on working on a case right now. It's alleged. I'm using that word alleged. It's alleged that a ranking police officer for the Blytheville Police Department, a ranking police officer for the Blytheville Police Department, has committed an assault on one of his fellow officers, allegedly. I'm working on that story. I got about 2-3 stories that I'm working on. Again, there is a Blytheville ranking police officer. To my knowledge, according to my source, this ranking police officer from Blytheville, there is some kind of investigation that is going on into an assault that he committed against a fellow officer. Now, what is so disturbing about this alleged investigation? I'm told that it's an internal investigation. Internal meaning Blytheville Police Department is investigating themselves. And you already know how that's going to turn out, don't you? When the Blytheville Police Department, or any police department for that matter, when they investigate themselves, you already know how they're going to turn out. So there's another story that I'm working on. But back to Osceola before I close out with this young black male, unresponsive at the Osceola City Jail. He's a young man. I don't know exactly how old he is, but if I had to guess, probably somewhere between, I want to say, mid-20s to early 30s. That's just my best guess. Okay, but it's just a sad case all the way around. A man found deceased at the Osceola City Jail. And when did they know? What did they do? And when did they do it? We need transparency. Osceola Police Department, Osceola City Government, meaning the mayor of Osceola and city council members. I'm hoping that you also will be questioning the police department. I know one city councilman down there, Councilman Stan Williams. I think he's chairperson of police and fire. So hopefully he will look into this and share whatever information that he can share with the public without interfering with the investigation. We're just talking about transparency right now. I think the public have a right to know that there has been a death at the Osceola Police Department. Okay. Now, but that's that. Last topic. And like I said, I'll come back and let you answer any question per topic before I close. Okay. Let me go back to my banner here. And let me pull up this last topic here. Okay. Where we at? Okay. Now, the school board. That's what I want to talk about. Blytheville School Board, that is. Now, I'm told that there are quite few districts in the state of Arkansas. It's like over 100 school districts. I'm thinking now, I'm speaking on Blytheville, but if I'm not mistaken, Osceola may be in the same boat, where they don't had a 10% or more change in the minority population. If that's the case, then all maps must be redrawn. So if all maps must be redrawn based on that 10% minority population increase, that means Osceola can find their seats also becoming vacant. So I do know that Blytheville, come 2022, all Blytheville School Board seats will be declared vacant for the upcoming 2022 election. Now, I know that there are a few asking me, when do you, can you start, you know, beginning the process for making yourself uh, available or having a desire to run for Blytheville School Board. Um, First of all, what has to happen? First of all, um, I want to say the election is going to be, I want to say May. I might be wrong, but I will check it out. I'm thinking that the election is either going to be March or May, but I'm thinking May. Okay. Uh, but the reason that I haven't gotten that information yet is because the school board told me, and they got to decide on 3 maps, and we're going to talk about those 3 maps, okay? But for right now, all Blytheville School Board seats will become vacant in the upcoming 2022 election, okay? I think most of you would agree, Blytheville parents, Blytheville residents, you may be satisfied with your representative. If you're not satisfied with your representative in terms of how they have conducted themselves as serving as a school board member, that it be training, that it be conduct, um, just fairness, all overall transparency, um, being able to show some kind of decorum toward their fellow board members. I mean, you be the judge. If you think that your candidate deserves to be reelected, because he or she is going to have to, it's not their seat anymore. The seat is vacant. So they won't be running for re-election. They will be running just like you to get elected. Okay, this seat don't belong to nobody come 2022. Everybody fighting for those seats. Okay, so I want to just run through these little 3 maps that the Blytheville School Board will have the privilege of voting on. And once they vote on one of these 3 maps, a demographic will come in and they will begin to start cutting up the different zones. That it be 5 zones, 7 zones, 5 and 2 or whatever, and they will equally divide the map in terms of them to voting single member zones. Okay. But let me just run and give you this first one right quick. And I'm going to come back to my board in a minute. All right. I'll come back to my board in a minute. But right here. Now, this is the first map that they can vote on. I think Osceola have something like this here. They got 7 school board, I said zones, but that's what actually is single member. They call this single member districts or what have you. But I'm just, for your understanding and my understanding, we're just going to say 7 school board zones. We know we got 8 zones right now. Okay. 8 zones is illegal. The only way that we had the 8 zones for Blytheville is because we was involved in a federal lawsuit. Okay. And to make it fair for the minority, Black people in general, to have a opportunity to elect a preferred candidate of their choice, they had to draw the map up to where you had 8 zones instead of the, by law, the 5 or the 7. So they went 8. Now that since this lawsuit, this federal lawsuit that Blytheville has been up under, it seemed like it's old case law. That's 1. 2, the demographics for as the population, it didn't change. We're giving Blacks the opportunity more so than back in the 80s and the 90s to elect a preferred candidate of their choice. And so this map is going to be pretty interesting once it's redrawn. Okay, but that's the first map that the board will be voting on. That's the first choice. 7 school board zones. Okay, not 8, 7. Right, and that way we avoid this mess that we now presently going through, where we had 4 school board members voted for 1 superintendent, and you had another 4 school board members who voted for another superintendent. And so right now we still without a superintendent for the Blytheville School District. All right. Now The other choice is number two, you can have 5 school board zones. Okay, 5 school board zones. Now, my personal opinion, which don't mean nothing, I think we should have 5 zones. I think Osceola should have 5 zones because our school districts are very small. I think with 5 zones, you can get more done. It'll be that many. It'll be that many less voices, shall I say, uh, to where confusion cannot be so as rampant as we have seen here in Blytheville in the last couple of months. All right, but 5 school board zone. That's the second map that they will vote on. Okay, and the last map that they will vote on, where they will have 5 school board zones, and they will have another 2 uh, seats, what is called at-large voting. At-large seats is simply, instead of them being elected from a particular ward, like Ward 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7, these 2 at-large seats, they will collect their votes all across the board for the city of uh, Blytheville. It's pretty much be like a city, uh, a citywide race. Instead of them being confined to one zone, they would get their votes all across the board, all across the city. What I'm trying to say, that's what for your own understanding, that is what we're talking about when we're saying at large seats, which means whoever want to run for the at large seat, they don't have to um, live in a particular zone to run as a candidate, what is called at large uh, candidate. And so that's that. Now, back in years' times, they had what is called the Lynch plan. And what you see right now, this 5 and 2, this is what Blytheville School District, back in this lawsuit that came about back in the 90s, I believe. This is what the school board wanted. They wanted 5 school board zones, and they wanted 2 at-large seats. To my understanding, I have to go back. Don't lock me into this here. I'm thinking that these 5 zones was going to be pretty much in favor of the white voting population, and these other 2 seats at large, those seats was going to be primarily reserved for your black voting age population. And the courts thought that that was unfair, and they ruled it correctly. So instead of them accepting the Blytheville School District 5 and 2, which mean 5 zones and 2 at large, they rejected this. The court, that is, because the NAACP of Blytheville, the Mississippi County NAACP, they didn't want this kind of map. 5 school board zones and 2 at large. What they wanted was the single member uh, uh, zones, and that's how we came up with 8 zones. Okay, so I don't know how this will work now. This 5 and 2, we may benefit from it, considering the population shift, but the same argument can be made for the white voting age population. This wouldn't be fair to them. And so it's going to be pretty interesting to see how they redraw these particular zones. And so those are the zones 1, 2, and 3. As again, I say, going back up here, 7 zones. That'll be the first choice. And the second map will be 5 school board zones. And the last one, as I just showed, will be 5 school board zones and 2 at large. Okay. Again, all of these seats will be up. Okay. All Blytheville School Board seats will be declared vacant for this upcoming 2022 election. All right. You want to run? Prepare yourself as I speak. So that's pretty much all the things that I want to talk to you on. I'm going to wrap this up, turning the floor back over to you. I'm going to come back and give my commentary, and we done. Okay. So that's pretty much all I have to say. I will say this here before I close out. I don't know how many of you saw my show, but my last show, it's a rumor. I think I don't know. It may be somewhat close to the truth, but it's a rumor. That's what I'm told. Uh, that to speak as of now, you know, until I get confirmation. And when I get confirmation, you will see me bring this candidate on my show. Councilman John Mayberry will possibly, okay, the rumor is he will possibly make himself a candidate for the mayor office for the city of Blytheville. Okay, so if you like John Mayberry, reach out to him and give him your support if you like him to run for mayor. Um, Look like something is freezing up again on my system here. I do not like that. I can remove still can't get rid of it. I don't know what's going on with that. I can't get rid of that off my screen here. Let me go up here and see if I can do this. I can't get I think I'm back. Anyway, I'm gonna go up here and see now if I can get this stuff off my screen here. Look like it's off. Okay, I'm back on. All right, back live. And so, but anyway, I want to go to my board because I want to let you all elaborate on 3 topics that we talked about earlier. Don't forget the 3 topics that we talked about. We talked about what was it? The first one we talked about. It was alleged that um, it's alleged that Blytheville Police Department conducted an illegal search on the department of former police detective, and I showed you his picture. Also, we talked about the young black male found unresponsive at the Osceola City Jail. Uh, he is deceased. Okay. And the last one we talked about where all the seats of Blytheville School Board will become vacant for the upcoming 2022 election. So let's go to the board. Um, I'm hoping that um, you all are still around. Let me see if I can go up here and do my comment section here. Okay. Let's see if I'm looking for questions, okay? I'm looking for questions and I'm gonna say my hellos later. Look like I got everybody earlier for as the hellos. Um, how you doing? This is Mrs. Cannon. How you doing? Um, we have always we always help others. What about us? Oh yeah, I think you referring to what I was indicating, Mrs. Rump. She's talking about and we some very uh, uh, loving people when it comes to helping others. Whether they come to our churches or whether they come to our communities, if there is some type of uh, tragedy in a person family, that it be on our job, that it be our neighbors or what have you. In some cases, the internet. We so quick to contribute, to help those that we learn who are in need, but for the most part, when we're on that receiving end, pretty seldom is that help return. Okay. Look like this internet still trying to act up on me. So I hope we can get through this here. So I agree with you, Mrs. Sheila Runk. We always help others. But again, that's a very good question. What about us? Okay. Uh, that's Miss Yolanda Stringer. How you doing? She's just saying she's watching. Um, Mrs. Felicia Reddick Jackson. You doing, Miss Reddick or Miss Jackson now? I hadn't saw you in a while. Uh, what's going on there, Miss Eleanor Luster? How you doing? Look like you all trying to find a question. If I don't see any question, wow, man, that's sad. I guess you uh, referring to Farad. How you doing, my brother? You referring to the sad news in Osceola? Yes, it is. Um, again, okay, how you doing, my brother? Um, Tony Hollis, what does this mean for the people? Man, your guess good as mine, man. I'm just at this point, man. I'm just speechless. There should be someone right now, or they should have been. They should have been picketing, should I say, boycotting, right in front of City Hall, or either right in front of the Osceola Police Department. You know, they should have been demanding answers, because if you sit, so idle like you are now, I'm talking about the citizens of Osceola. If you are sitting so idle, uncaring, I mean, what if this was your loved one? Wouldn't you want answers? Couldn't you imagine what this family is going through now? Now, I don't know this family, but I can imagine what they're going through. Many of you, I'm going to shut up, because see, when I start talking about stepping up, doing the right thing, sometimes I get carried away. I'm going to leave it alone. But Osceola, that family needs you. That family need answers. You should be right there in front of that police department, boycotting, in front of the mayor's office, calling your city council person, demanding answers. A young man, life is gone, and no one is talking. Transparency is nothing. Okay. Okay, where we at now? How you doing there? That's my brother there. That's a strong brother there. Take care of Mr. Brother Robinson, strong brother. I really like working with that brother. I mean, very intelligent brother. Good head on him. I'm hoping that he'll run for office down there in Osceola. Um, he have shown in past times, especially when he came to the elected rates, uh, he put himself out there. He made himself a target. He took a hit for Osceola. So I will say that for Mr. Robinson. Um, he carried that water. He carried that water. He courageously carried that water. Thank you, Brother Robinson, for stepping up, trying to help your people in Osceola, Arkansas. Um, do they think it is fear or intimidation? Well, it's like this here. We living in 2021. And one of the things that is always have said of leadership, that word fear should never have any place, a part of a person who called themselves a leader. If you can look at your leader and your leader is afraid, then what does that say about his followers? The leader done showed himself either to be untrustworthy or in other cases, to be a coward. So there should never be fear in leadership. Never. Because if that is the case, the people are hopeless. That's all I'm going to say on that. Okay, where we at? It could have been one of us. Indeed. I spoke about that. Indeed. Could have been one of us, our family members, our neighbors, our co-worker. That's going to take a community effort to come together and demand answers from city government and Osceola Police Department. If the family don't speak up, nothing will happen. Well, from what I understand, cuz what I understand about this family, I understand this family is, I don't know them, I'm just going by bits and pieces. What I understand about this family is to themselves, the private people, and there's nothing wrong with that. Some people, social, or some people they prefer their business being strictly their business, and so, but it still don't stop us, because as Brother Farad just stated, that could be us, one of our children, nieces, nephews, mom, dad, co-worker. It could be, it could be someone that we know. So I think we all have a duty, to get involved in this. Hopefully, Osceola citizen will step up. God bless you too, my brother. Look like we're down at the bottom. That's it. I don't see any more questions. We're at 52 minutes. I'm still on an hour. So as they say, if you want to get it in, you better get it in. We're down at the bottom of the barrel. Again, I like to say to Blytheville, we need to get involved as well. There is some intimidation going on at the Blytheville Police Department. I want to say this here. The Courier News indicated, printed that they want to place so much emphasis. We got like 100 and at that time it was like about 100 and I don't know, 5 signatures. I think right now, the last I looked at it, we got like about 115, somewhere in 115 or 118. That's what we have now. But at that time, when Courier News called it out, they wanted to place so much emphasis on, I think it might have been, I don't know, 12 or 13 signatures that didn't have the 72315 or 16 zip code, which means they live elsewhere. 13 signatures. Get this. Instead of talking about the 80-some signatures that we did get, which mean residents from Blytheville, that's a lot of folks, 80 people. Courier News saw a need to place so much significance on the 12 or 13 that didn't have the zip code. What do you think about that? Although 13 votes is very important, but 80-some votes? Why do I use the word votes? Because of that 80 people that voted that the chief needs to go, Chief Thompson I'm talking about. If you get 50, I just slice it in half. If you get 40 of that 80 that turned out, they can swing the election. Let's not forget the first 2 times that Merrill Sanders, I think he ran against Tommy Abbott. That vote, both times that those two met, I think those votes was decided with less than 50 votes. It might have been less than that. It might have been less than 30. But I'm just going to use the word 50. Less than 50 votes. What decided that first 2 terms that Merrill Sanders and Abbott met, that election was decided with less than 50 votes. Now we got 80 signatures. If we can get 50 of those signatures that turn out, we could swing this election come 2022 for the mayor race. So that's what the Courier News, that's what they should have been emphasizing on. That's where the significance is at. The 80-some people that said that Mayor Sanders, City Council, Chief Ross Thompson must go. So I think that was a little, I don't know, it's sort of sticking a thumb in the people's eye, try to minimize it by focusing on the 13 votes instead of focusing on the 80-some votes the chief out or having the mayor to terminate the chief. But anyway, and as for as Frazier, he took a petition around. He did it the first time back in 2015 when we tried this vote of no confidence. I'm getting over time, and he tried it again this time. What I'm understanding about, I have to call his name, Captain Frazier, John Frazier. It's very important, and I'll tell you why the next time we meet for part 2 of this here. I told you I'm working on some things. He personally took around some little piece of paper that he might call a petition, having various police officers, and I'm told even personnel, people that work at the old police department, with the one that they just left down on 2nd Street, having those people to sign that little piece of paper in so many words. I don't know what it said, but it was in support of Chief Ross Thompson. In other words, they wanted the council to vote no against the vote of no confidence. He did that in 2015. Fast forward today, 2021. I'm told he did the very same thing. There is intimidation that is going on within the Blytheville Police Department. I would sure hope that Officer Frazier is not this officer who's being investigated. I would hope that he's not the one. But there has been a claim of physical assault against a fellow police officer by a ranking police officer, Blytheville I'm talking about. And this intimidation, all this stuff factored together. So that's something that we're working on. All right. But anyway, I look like I don't see any more signatures over here. I'm gonna get ready to shut it down. Look like we got a couple of them tuned back in. This Brother Farad, great show. Thanks, my brother. Brother Steele, how you doing? I think you had I've been meaning to get around to your page. Somebody had a birthday. Sending out my birthday greetings to your family member who has just celebrated that birthday. There go another one of my boots on the ground. Good supporter, Miss Priscilla Williams, Mrs. Priscilla Williams. How you doing? Again, ladies and gentlemen, that's my show. Peace and blessing to you, Brother Fraud. That's my show. I don't have anything else to bring you, but I do want to show you exactly who are your school board representatives now, okay? I want to show you them. Let me see if I can go and find them. Oh, yeah, I want to show you this here, too. Let me go up here to make this announcement right quick. Really not an announcement, but an acknowledgement, shall I say. Many of you who live down the Osceola, Arkansas way, you have had a friend of mine, not only a friend of mine, but you have had let me go back. You have had let me go back. Let me get rid of this. I don't like all that white. But this gentleman here, both of these are my classmates. The lady you see that is presenting Chief Ollie Collins, that's his retirement award. Ollie, Lord, it's been so many years. I bet he got 30 plus years as law enforcement. Anyway, this is his last month. I think it was the 31st, October the 31st. To where he will be like me. He can go ahead and enjoy his peace and quietness. I want to say congratulations to my friend, my college roommate, um, my summer co-worker in the many summer jobs that we worked at, uh, my fellow graduate, class 1979, and my boxing mate. We boxed it for many years for the Osceola boxing team, okay? Many years. And so I like to say to all of my fellow boxing mates, please send your love out to Chief Ollie Collins, who has retired from the Osceola Police Department. Give a big hand to Miss Rosalind McClenser. It's one thing about Rosalind. She stay on top of our class. If there ain't nothing that gonna go unnoticed without either um, Miss Rosalind McClenson, or either Mrs. Jackie Baker. Okay, many of you know her as Jackie Hannah Baker. But she and Rosalind, uh, they are super uh, workers for the class of 1979. So again, congratulations to Osceola Chief Allen Collins. All right. And last, I want to show you all, just real quickly, I want to show you all um, your school board members, okay, as they are now. Now, it's one thing that I don't like, and then we're going to close. It's one thing that I don't like that they didn't put up on the the screen, the website, the school website I'm talking about for Blytheville. The only thing that I didn't like that they didn't put up there, I'm hoping this is right here. Let's go up there and see. If not, I'm after it is. Okay. Now, I want to just show you. This is the interim superintendent, Mrs. Jennifer Blankenship. Now, her job actually is she's the high school principal for Blytheville. Okay. She's serving as interim superintendent until we finally decide that we're going to go ahead and get one. I don't know when that's going to be, but right now she's serving as interim superintendent. Now, on the website, they don't have the zones, but let me just give you uh, the people who serving for school board right now. Okay, this is Mrs. Wells. She is the president for the Blytheville School District. She served as president for the school board. As you can see, her term would have expired 2025. But due to the fact that we have had a population change in terms of the minority, 10% minority shift increase in population, minority 10% increase, that put us in a situation to where the map have to be redrawn. And so she will be running for the seat shall she choose to do so. Matter of fact, all of them. This is my school board rep now. Like I say, he's the only one that I know his zone. We're in the same zone. This is Mr. Billy Farrer. He's vice president as of now. His term would have expired 2024. All right. But that's zone one. That's my school board rep. And if you know your school board rep, I will say kudos to you. If you don't, shame on you, because your kids are dependent on you to be involved with their education. That means not just meeting their teachers and principals, but you have to meet the other school administrators, especially your superintendent, but more importantly, your school board rep. And this is Miss Tracy Ritchie. She's served as secretary presently. Her term would have expired 2026. And this is Mrs. Erin Carrington. Her term would have expired 2025. And this is Mr. Desmond Hammett. His term, I believe, you can't see it there, like it's covered up, but his term would have expired 2023, I believe. And this is Miss Toby Johnson. She's a board member. Her term would have expired 2026. And you have board appointed Miss Carolyn Lewis. She filled the term. Um, Lord rest her soul, Miss Cinderella. Um, but she feels they appointed her to that seat. Her term would have expired 2024. And this is Mrs. Michelle Sims. She's a board member. Her term would have expired 2023. And as I say, it's one thing that this board should have done. They should have put the zone. They get the photo and everything, but maybe that's something that we can request of the IT person for the Blytheville School District. Put in the zone along with the photo of these particular board members. I didn't see that. I would have put the zone number myself, but it really don't make no difference at this point, because once they redraw the map, those zones would change. Okay, so that's all I have, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna get ready to close this thing out, and I want to thank everyone for just tuning in. It's always a blessing when I can have my very devoted fan base to tune in to Tony Hollis Live Talk Show Testify. So I want you all to catch me again next week. Hopefully the same time, and we'll come back. It's like my board is not messing up. It's messing up again. I don't even have my theme music. Normally I play my theme music when I get ready to sign out, but look like let me see. Okay, again, if you all can hear me, that is my show for today, and I will be coming back next week, November the 7th, 2021. Topic to be announced. So again, in closing, I say thanks for watching, peace and love, and God bless.